is that certainly people need to have free choice about where they live and have the resources to do that. But also, it seems that along with that would come a responsibility, a moral responsibility, to welcome those of a different group who might move into that. It might be an all-black community or all-white community, but if someone of a different race or ethnicity or economic class moved in, to then welcome that person and embrace that person and not see that it has to remain a homogenous, all-white or all-black community, that especially in our country where everything is changing so rapidly, the words are changing all the time. But it's the welcoming of others coming in as opposed to, bombing their homes and other things that have happened in the past.
Yeah, I think that's what we mean by welcome participation.
And I do think that it's worthwhile to examine the basis of my choice. So if I'm choosing to live in a homogeneous community, might it have something to do with my feeling of safety? In which case that is diminishing the possibility of beloved community for a whole host of series, which end up being about redlining anyway. Would be my point of view. It's not a fact. I'm sorry, you were calling me.
Yeah, to that same point, I heard someone say, and I wish I knew who it was, but choosing between two less than optimal options is not a choice, it's really a dilemma, right? And so to the notion of welcoming or redlining or disparate impact, I mean, you might choose to live next to the people you know and, some of your relatives in less than great housing, because you don't feel welcome in another neighborhood. I would suggest that that's a dilemma and not really a choice in that sort of construed way of choice making. So I wanted to add that, but the question or the comment that I was really interested in this Hoyt's classification. I don't study this field, so hadn't seen that before, but it doesn't even mention Native people, indigenous people at all. There are no Native Americans on that list, at least maybe you excerpted it. But,
the reason the Native Americans are not on that list is because they only welcome in the reservations.
Right, I mean, this whole discussion that you're having about housing, I think, is very resonant in all of the constructs that we have about othering and about beloved community.
I think your point is well taken now. The White's work was 1934, so there's a bit of ancient history, and certainly Native people were.
We were highly discriminated against at that point.
They were definitely hidden. Carol.
My comment goes back to some earlier discussion of strategies for doing research on unfairness in housing practices. I don't know if you're familiar with Toy Dericott's book, The Black Notebooks. Toy is one of the writers I most admire. She's at the University of Pittsburgh. And she happens to be a light-skinned African-American woman married to a dark-skinned African-American male. And she has a beautiful essay in there about how she went to a real estate agent that was shown all these houses and decided where she wanted to live and got down to all the nitty-gritty and said, I want to just bring my husband by to take a look before we sign the papers. And the realtor, oh, sure, great, that'd be great. They made an appointment. He came in and all hell broke loose. So it occurred to me as you were speaking that why couldn't you set up social experiments in which you either work with light-skinned African Americans or you work with white actors in a situation where they project that they want to live in a certain house and then bring in an actor, a spouse, of another race. I think there are possibilities for doing some pretty dynamite research.
They do that. They already do.
I want to have coffee with you one day before we leave, because that sounds very interesting.
The Urban League does that.
The
Okay.
realtors do
Oh, no, that's right. I think I may have read
against
that.
our license license. So if steering and those practices are going on, there's some data in there that will go to the realtor commission. Yeah, that they're, and I can talk to you about it after, but that, you know, it's supposed to be those practices against the law. So you can see what type of claims have been filed. You can look at that type of information too, because it's a violation of our license.
Yes, Diane.
So I also wanted to say that the Anti-Defamation League has those documentaries where that actually has been done with actors, and it's just heartbreaking to see what happens. But I wanted to respond to the idea of choice, and I question the degree to which people who feel that they should make a decision based on fear or the idea of safety are really operating from a position where they have free choice. It seems to me that the fear is limiting their choices, and that it's ignorance, and that perhaps through education, through all these modes of education, that might change. Personally, I would say that I would never again ever choose to live in a homogeneous area. After having had the blessing of living in a very diverse area where I'm often a minority, I cannot even imagine wanting to go to a homogeneous neighborhood, because the idea that safety is more there is a fiction. And not only that, the idea of cutting oneself off from the experience of having relationships with people outside of one's own cultural background anyway, is to me very, very limiting. So I would be more afraid of that. I would be more afraid of being limited to only one cultural background or one race or one ethnicity than I would have wanted to live in a diverse neighborhood. And I just wonder if most people wouldn't feel that way. I don't think I'm weird in that. I think that it's because of my experience that I have the blessing of that opportunity. So perhaps maybe it's to open experiences and possibilities to people through education or the kind of work you're doing that might lead to that.
Oh, yeah, I definitely want to collect some of these ideas. I'm very interested in how can we begin that dialogue and how can we begin to make some progress. Regina.
Yeah, it takes me back to find out what Michael Lefontaine and William Gregory talked about integral diversity and maturity theory. And I see that lack thereof within the community. I'm looking at it, and I think that's somewhat, as you're talking about what you're talking about. I actually used to work in for HUD doing some consulting work in housing and urban development, and I worked for I started off working for Cherokee Nation, and then I ended up working in doing some consulting. And I would go to tribal areas and talk to them about building communities and establishing nonprofits that get some grant monies in, whether it be around substance abuse or other things that get people inside there. I think where you see that is this. It's where those things fall fall in the cracks there, and it's that lack thereof, that integral diversity, maturity, in that. Yeah, people have, you have a real estate agent where, I know the rules and I'm not going to break them. I'm going to really make this easy for anyone, and it's anyone's market. I mean, that's what equality is. And yet, we all have seen those things, experienced those things, and all those other things. Because at that time, I'm a card-carrying Indian. It was super important because my partner was not. And the discrimination that I watched her deal with, oftentimes, because there was of working, in a tribal situation. I mean, there's all these different things that go on, and it can happen. There's a whole lot of things, and all I keep thinking about is there's a way that fits, that we've got to be able to like mature people better. I don't know how we do that, but that's my 2 cents. It's just a comment of what it made me think of, and I think that there's something to consider there.
Well, we've had a good conversation, I think, haven't we?
Yes.
We still have a little bit of time left. So does anyone else have anything that they would like to say? Or?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all.
So William, many of you know William from his beginnings in the program, and you know that he's been working on this for a long time. So it's a big topic,